guys, welcome back to another episode of Map TV. Today we've got something a little bit special for you. We've got a 2018 manual GT in with us, but for something different this time. We usually put the supercharger on these, as you've probably seen. Today we're installing a Hellion twin turbo kit. Two 40mm turbo smart external wastegates. So with the extra power, of course you need to upgrade your fuel system. So we're going to be installing a DW 400 in-tank fuel pump, along with some Injector Dynamics 1050X injectors. As it's a forced induction build, we've installed our usual engine upgrades, which consists of an MMR billet oil pump and crank gear and MMR's full front cover assembly. Along with the extra power, we're going to be installing a Lethal Performance twin plate clutch to handle the extra power from this turbo system. Right, so there's a lot of work to be done on this car, so let's get the power upgrades installed and onto the car, and then it's on to some visual and handling upgrades. So yeah, let's crack on.
So as you've seen guys, Dia's been well underway with his twin turbo build. I've been left in charge of the suspension, and I just want to show you through what I've actually done. So as with all our cars guys, the IRS base pack by Dyno is the first thing to go on this rear subframe. Next on the list was roll bars. So we've got the roll bars on with the billet uprated mounts and adjustable drop links. Then moved on to the billet vertical links and adjustable toe links. So finally, on the rear of the car, we've got the Dyno IRS braces, just helping hold this subframe in place for all that extra power. So usually on a car that's going to have this high power, we'd be installing some form of K-brace or 2-point brace, but obviously because of where the turbos are mounted, and they are pretty big, we're not going to get one on here. So all that's been done at the front of the car is the camber bolts, roll bar, billet mounts and adjustable drop links. Last but not least on the chassis, RTR Aero 7 wheels in satin black, and they look awesome on this car with the RTR front fascia.
I'm a bit mind blown, so excuse me. But as you've seen, Teddy has finished installing the parts and stuff onto this car, so all the chassis and everything's all done, the wheels are installed. So we've had the car on the dyno for 3 days now, developing the software for it. Obviously this is the first twin turbo car that we've done. Most companies would just buy in a tune from the States, but obviously that's not our style. We've started from the stock Ford operating system, built up a tune, and the car is absolutely ripping. Like, this is what I mean, I can't, like I'm shaking still. So, because this car is equipped with a twin turbo kit, we've installed an electronic boost controller, which allows us to have different boost levels. So what I've done is I've programmed 4 different boost levels on this car. So it's got a 7 psi, an 8 psi, a 9 psi and a 10.5 psi boost level. I won't tell you how much power it's made. You'll have to find out in the later clips, but let me just tell you, this car has blown my mind to bits. So Yeah, let's get to the clips. Hellion twin turbo, 2019 Mustang, 6-speed manual. Wow, I was not expecting that. I was expecting like 750. So I've just bumped the duty cycle up on the boost controller by 5% on the actual solenoid. Boost went from 9 psi to like 10.5 psi. Before we were in like 730 wheel horsepower. You've just done a pull now at 10.5 psi, and we're at 810 rear wheel horsepower and 700 foot-pound of torque at the wheels. 700 foot-pound on a stock Gen 3 Coyote. Unheard of. That is unheard of. So, as we've mentioned, we've installed an electronic boost controller in this car, which has enabled us to program 4 different boost levels. So from literally driving, press a button and you can have an extra 50 wheel horsepower. Press it 4 times, you can have an extra 200 wheel horsepower. So we've set 4 different levels. Here is an overlay of all in 4 different modes. So we've got a 620 wheel horsepower map, a 660 wheel horsepower, a 720 and an 810 wheel horsepower. Them different boost levels are accessible by literally a click of a switch. Press a button and away you go. That's the different boost modes on this car. Right, so we're out in the twin turbo car now. We're just collecting some data logs in the different boost modes. We've run it in boost mode 1 to 4. It's wet today, it's just trying to wheel spin everywhere. But we've managed to collect some decent data logs. The car's running perfectly. We just wanted to confirm that it was doing everything that it should be doing on the road. Now that we've confirmed that, we can drive it back to the workshop, go from there. Right, so we're back at the workshop now. We've been out in the twin turbo Mustang. When we were out on the road, we've made some slight adjustments to the tune, just the transient throttle areas. All full throttle areas are perfect. So the car drive spot on now. Dare I say it drives like a stock car, which is very impressive. So that's it for part 1 of this twin turbo build series. Stick around for part 2, where this car is going to be going to the detailers for a full exterior detail and paint correction, and the customer is going to be coming and collecting the car, and you'll be able to see his reaction when he sees it and hears it for the first time, so stick around.